Hello and welcome, and I hope you're having a fabulous day. Today we're going to take kind of an international spin on cryptocurrency, and we're going to take a look at what's going on with Israel, Brazil, and Portugal. Oops, click here instead. All right, so this is the disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is my opinion. I'm not smarter than you. You are smarter than you realize. Do not trust what I say and do your own research. So, Cointelegraph had an interesting article recently, and it was talking about Israel, a friendly blockchain hub, but is government policy lacking? I thought this was interesting, and so I'll just read it instead of trying to ad-lib it, because they did a much better job describing it than I think I could do if I were to try and say it in my own words. It has been almost a decade since Dan Senor and Saul Singer penned Startup Nation, their ode to the Israeli Tech Center, the book which chronicles much of Israel's success as a small but potent innovation force that spans countless industries, highlights the immense technological know-how and seemingly fearless energy that supports the country's thriving startup culture. Nearly a decade later, Israel has not missed a beat in terms of capitalizing on the biggest trends in technology. From cybersecurity to artificial intelligence and machine learning, Israel's legion of innovators is tackling problematic areas felt in numerous sectors with its own brand of expertise, helping these geographical build a global footprint. Blockchain and distributed ledger technology, DLT, perfectly align with these ambitions, helping Israel emerge as one of the leading launchpads for the industry. While Bitcoin's BTC price has risen and fallen over the years, one constant has been the upward growth trajectory of worldwide as well as Israeli blockchain initiatives. And then another quote here. This quote comes from Shiva Ovadia. I'm not sure I pronounced that correctly. I hope I got close. Principal at Collider Ventures. The technology can be leveraged extensively. A major part of why Israel has been known as the startup nation is because of our cyber and fintech technologies, which are also connected to our military, our Army intelligence service. In a way, I think that blockchain and crypto are weaved technologies and fintech and cyber. The core is to protect value, prevent attacks, and deliver a better financial system. So that really is what's at the core of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, is to protect value, prevent attacks, and deliver a better financial system. That was what was originally written in the Bitcoin white paper when Satoshi Nakamoto first created and built with a team of people what became Bitcoin and has grown exponentially ever since. So pretty exciting stuff. Israel has been involved in a lot of different technological and blockchain related innovations, and so it'll be very interesting to see what comes from Israel in the future and in the near future. Now, the next thing I wanted to point out is some of the things that are happening in Brazil. One of the things is Celios, Brazil's largest payment processor network, announced that they would be adding crypto transactions to their POS devices, numbering some 1.4 million throughout the country. In other words, it won't be long before you can actually spend Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies at 1.4 million retail establishments throughout the nation of Brazil. Customers will reportedly be able to use their mobile phones to scan QR codes generated on the Celo POS to make payments in several cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin. Moreover, the company may be trying to launch payment services that do not require POS devices at all, and instead can be processed on a mobile phone app alone. And that would be exciting, just to be able to take, if you were starting up a small business and you wanted to be able to accept Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies as a form of payment, using their POS system, you'll be able to do that just with a mobile phone without actually having to purchase any actual equipment for taking payment processing. You know, the kind of equipment that you see in most grocery stores or gas stations when you provide them with a credit card of some sort. Now, Portugal, I mentioned this in an earlier video, but I think it's worth repeating. Per an August 26 report by Portuguese business newspaper Jornal de, and I don't know that I'll be able to pronounce that, Jornal de Negocios. I apologize. I fear I probably butchered the pronunciation of that name. Portugal's tax agency does not plan to implement value-added taxes, VAT, on Bitcoin transactions or Bitcoin trading. The news follows up an existing Portuguese policy not to tax income from Bitcoin trading. In other words, in Portugal, there is no capital gains tax when you have profited from a Bitcoin investment. So if you invested some money in Bitcoin and then it made a whole bunch of money and you were cashing out, you don't have to pay capital gains tax. Whereas in most countries throughout the rest of Europe and the United States, when you cash out Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies, if you may incur a taxable event from doing that. So I'm glad to see that Portugal's doing that, and I think that's going to put pressure on other countries and other nations to do the same thing, to make sure that there isn't a sales tax or a VAT on Bitcoin transactions, and that there is also no income tax from trading Bitcoin, no income tax on Bitcoin trading. So that I think that's very encouraging, and I hope to see that spread to other countries throughout the world. Also, a major Brazilian developer conducts the first land purchase on the blockchain. I thought this was quite interesting. MRV, one of Brazil's largest construction companies, has reportedly carried out its first blockchain-based real estate purchase. According to the company's press release announcing the transaction, the land registration process went from up to 4 months to 4 days. Imagine that you're purchasing a piece of property and it's taking 4 months to complete that transaction, where now it can be done in 4 days. And I assume that the 4 days is more about people doing something with the transaction rather than it actually being logged onto the blockchain. And who knows, maybe they'll be able to reduce that time down to minutes, because adding a transaction to the blockchain should be a function of seconds or minutes, not a function of days or even months as it used to be prior to using the blockchain. So some pretty cool stuff. I hope you'll like, subscribe, and hodl, and have a fantastic day.